Hey guys, it's me. So I'm back in my kitchen and I just made some steak. I didn't make it, I prepped it. I rubbed the seasoning on it. And this is just top sirloin steak. This is nothing fancy. It's about $7 a pound, which is a lot for meat. But in this economy, $7 a pound for meat is a good price, especially good quality top sirloin. Now I cut it in these little pieces, slices and stuff. It was from a bigger piece. It was a bigger chunk. I think they call it cap top sirloin or picanha. Anyways, I seasoned it. First of all, I sliced it up real nice. Then I laid it out on parchment paper and I used a paper towel to dry it. So I dried it with a paper towel, for a visual aid, paper towel. Just blotted it down until it was reasonably dry. You never get it perfectly dry. Let me put this away. You never get that stuff perfectly dry. And so let's just have a steady angle there. And so once I blotted it down with a paper towel, this is parchment paper, by the way. Parchment paper, I get it from Publix. I never like buying from Publix. Everything at Publix is overpriced. Even this parchment paper, including this, totally overpriced. And so I seasoned it up. I first applied avocado oil. And then after that, I rubbed Montreal steak seasoning. And this is actually the greatest. I mean, it's got no fillers. I think it's got some anti-caking agent in it, and that's about it. So it doesn't cake up. Coarse salt, spices, black pepper, red pepper, garlic, onion, sunflower oil, natural flavor, and extractives of paprika. Literally, that's all there is in there. There's no other artificial ingredients or anti-caking agents. I thought there was, actually. So I rub it in avocado oil, and avocado oil is preferable to olive oil because avocado oil has a higher smoke point. That means it reaches a higher temperature before it starts to burn and turns to smoke. So the smoke point, it actually turns into black smoke when your frying pan is too hot. So I'm going to use a frying pan, and I'm going to use a brand called Hexclad. This is dirty. I'm going to wash this, and I'm going to use a 12-inch, I think it's a 12-inch frying pan that I'm going to use because I want to cook as much of the steak at once. And I let it sit out on the counter now. It came from the fridge, right? So it was very cold in the fridge. I like to give it at least an hour just sitting on the counter. An hour and a half is preferable because it takes a while for the temperature to drop. You want it to be as close as room temperature as possible. But if you can't get that close, 65 degrees is fine. Room temperature is 70 degrees for reference. So I seasoned, applied the avocado oil first, a thin coating, and then that allows the seasoning to stick better, the Montreal steak seasoning to stick better. I seasoned both sides and I used a liberal amount of the seasoning. This stuff is cheap. This is only like $5 for this. This is gonna last you several months if you're a steak eater. It's gonna last you probably 6 months easily, But you always wanna use more seasoning than is necessary because a lot of it cooks off in the pan. You lose a lot of it in the pan during the cooking process. And you can never go wrong with salt. And remember from the last video, I have a Foster's. I want to talk about this too. Now I'm going to do this again. And now every time I pour a Foster's, it's such a pain in the ass because I gotta go in there. I gotta set it up properly. This is a wet rag so that it doesn't move around. Got my Foster's here. I'm gonna pop open it. There. So I got that, and I have to take my glass here at the corner. The glass is at the corner. Let me do it like this. Like this. And so I'm gonna watch how difficult this is. We're gonna do it again, but I love this Foster's. I paid full price for it, $3.29 or something, $3.50 per. It's a 25-ounce can, so that's roughly 2 beers. And I'm gonna see. Let me just do it like this. I can't. I'm gonna pour it properly though. Hold on. Hold on, I'm gonna do it. Yeah. Sorry, this is boring. You're not seeing anything, but you can hear me though. I still poured a little bit. So it doesn't, see, this doesn't like spill out a whole bunch, but a little bit got spilled. It traveled down here, it goes down here, and then it drops off the end of the can when you're pouring it. And I poured it properly, so there's very little foam there. Now I can just, and once you get it started, you got a puddle of water right there, puddle of beer in that top lip. Then it pours easier. It won't drain as much. As long as there's water there, there's got to have, beer there. Anyhow, I'm gonna cook this on a skillet for 2 minutes each side, maximum temperature. So I turned the skillet up, maximum temperature. This is how you cook. You get it as hot as you can make it on your burner, and then you put your fingers, you go like this. You want to have your hand off, you want to feel the heat radiating from the pan. Once it's radiating, then you turn it down, turn the temperature down to like 7, medium high, turn it down to medium high, and then you apply a little bit of avocado oil. You usually don't need to do that, but if you want to, you can do that, because there's enough fat on the meat to cook this meat in. And so, then it's about 2 to 3 minutes each side, but you want to flip like every minute, a minute and a half, because these are thin slices. These are about 1 inch or less than 1 inch in thickness, about 3/4 of an inch. And I like it to be a little bit rare on the middle, pink in the middle, but seared on the outside. And the reason I turn the pan up to maximum, get it super hot, as hot as I can make it, and then I turn it down, is because I want to sear the outside. I want to lock in the juices. Blotting it down with a paper towel will help you. You want a dry steak. It's a dry rub, I think they call it. And you want to, that will drying the steak before you season it and letting it sit out for 2 hours before you cook it will ensure that all the juices are locked in and they won't come out in the cooking process. That's why you want to sear. If you sear the steak, you can create a seal for the juice on this meat. Let's get some brightness here, yeah. The juicy insides of the meat, and you lock in all that flavor. And I didn't cut this stuff perfectly. You can see, it's okay. It's not all very even, but it was close enough. And I just used a regular chef knife, something similar to this. You don't want to use a serrated knife. You want to use a very sharp chef knife on a cutting board, and you don't want to cut it on wood. You want to cut it on something like this kind of plastic, see? This is a kind of cutting board. This is easy to clean. You could perfectly sanitize it because it's a plastic cutting board. Don't use wood. Anyhow, so that's it. I just wanted to let you guys know how to do that. And of course, I'm going to enjoy this Foster's in a moment. And there you go. Yeah, cool.